You can't get on a winning streak until you've won 2 in a row. And the Maple Leafs will endeavor to do just that this evening as they host the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the puck is dropped, and we are underway, and glad you're with us. Dish back now for Michelli. Michelli skates right through the blue paint. See, if you have solid goaltending, you
could do that.
200 feet of ice. Dropping for Cowan. They cycle out of the corner. Cowan was tripped, and there's going to be a penalty here. Knocked away to the far corner. Riley won't get there. And a shot out at center and a foot race for it. Trying to break in off the left wing, and a shot went wide. It comes back to the point, though. Kept alive. Riley with a shot. Bouncing puck in front. Cowan doesn't shoot it. And then he centered it out in front of an empty net on a shot taken by Nylander off the wing. Riley again down low with a shot in the corner. And unable to get to it was Yarncrook. Robertson still with it to Cowan to Nylander. Penalty is 20 seconds left in it. Long shot blocked. Bouncing puck. Cowan. And a good save made by the right leg of Jet Greaves. Got pucks to the net, and that's something that we have been critical of, and now penalty coming to Toronto. Fantilli in front of the net. The pass was to him, but it's broken up, and the Leafs are going to get it out at center and launch it high into the zone, and Lawton cuts in off the wing and fired it just wide. Played to the line and not much further. Lawton and actually, it was Lorenz who flattened his man. Start out at center ice. Joshua to the line and took a high stick and is going to end up drawing a penalty here. Yarncrook waiting there, and the Blue Jackets can't clear. A weak clearing attempt kept in now by Nylander. Down low, centering pass. Nylander, a shot right on. Big rebound in front. They bang at it. It's still free, and it's cleared finally by the Blue Jackets down into the Leaf zone. He lost it. The Leafs are able to keep the puck in momentarily anyway. No, now they do. Man down low is a pass in front for Tavares, and a no shot delivered. Yarncrook was the man down low. Now Tavares in front of the net with a couple of whacks at it. Backhand try. Yarncrook sent it wide of the goal. Kept in now, and a long shot is gloved off the angle by Joseph Woll, who's really been a non-factor as we get some shoving in front of the net. Lawton in the middle of it.
Yeah, Matthew Olivier is a big part of the scrum for the Columbus Blue Jackets as well.
And it is Benoit getting it back at center, but brought on by Werenski in with a shot. Kicked away nicely by Woll. Knocked away to the near wing, and now Cowan starts out of his own zone, steps away from one man and skates it to center. Here's Cowan hitting the line in on the right side, and he got a pretty good wrister away. Draw one by Toronto. Wrister taken there, went wide of the net from Troy Stecher. It comes back to the point. Stecher had crept in the backhand, set by Tavares. Scooped up again by Greaves into the left wing corner. Leafs trying to stretch things out. Now Marchenko steps in with a pass. Good play made by Jake McCabe to tie up the stick in front. Now a shot, scores off the post and in. And the Blue Jackets get first blood. Marchenko got the attempt in earlier, but Fantilli gets the loose puck, and it caroms off the post and in. And on the 6th shot on goal, the Columbus Blue Jackets own the lead. Matter now as the Leafs have brought it back in, and Nylander dropping it back, and a drive that ends up into the screen as Yarncrook crashes into the goaltender. The net was completely empty, and the Leafs start to get their change going as it's brought into the Toronto zone. Nice move to drive the net, Marchenko, and that was kicked away by Woll. But the puck follows him into the corner, and Cowan couldn't help out. The puck along the boards, Cowan getting it out in front, a shot. Good blocker save made by Greaves. That might have been his best save of the game. Back along for Monahan. To the right point, a long shot deflected right on, big save. Best of the game so far there for Joseph Woll. Leafs have iced the puck though. That'll get 2 exchanges made. Brought right back in again by Columbus though. Here's a chance for Fantilli, and he scores. This time, this one will be Adam Fantilli, and the Columbus Blue Jackets, outplayed in this game, are up 2-0.
Second period woes continue for the Leafs. You know, obviously from that range, the range of the second goal, you'd like that save, but over the pad, under the glove of Wall, off the post and in.
Shot from the blue line, scores! You were doing so well, I thought you might like to do the play-by-play, Mr. Ralph.
Well, you do color. Well, we talked about how it was going to be an ugly goal from the point that might have to go in. I think it's Dakota Mermis, Joe, that gets it right off the draw, and it's just a simple wrist shot. I don't know if this hits anything.
Played off the boards and out at center, and now here are the Leafs with a chance. And across the line it comes to Tavares. Tavares dropping for Nylander, closing! Off a stick and up into the screen. Lawton has his man lined up, and a pretty good hit on Matachuk. Grabbed there by Matachuk, D to D, and a long shot. Took a funny bounce, and that trickled just wide after it hit a couple of bodies in front. Here's Matachuk again, another shot. That is stopped in front. It's underneath the fallen Leaf player.
And that's such a dangerous play, Joe. I mean, if that comes up right around the face when you're on the way down,
you're in a lot of trouble. Chipped ahead by Benoit. And across the line, here's McMahon driving the net and cut across the goal crease and was upended, and the goaltender loses his stick but is able to get it back. Able to get it ahead and across the line, Willie trying to drive the net with a backhand, and it was high and wide. Fantilli was knocked off stride as it comes back to the point. One-timer coming in traffic, stopped by Wall, and he comes across to make a big save there off the stick of Kirill Marchenko. Grabbed off by Matachuk. Back to the point once more on the near side for Wood, and he wired it wide. Played around the boards to the far side. Robertson steps into his man, and we get some shoving in front of the net to allow a change of players for the Blue Jackets. And Coach Dean Evison brought on by Tavares to the line and in on the left wing for Cowan. Back for Tavares, who scores! Great pass by Cowan, and the veteran finishes again. Is there anyone any hotter than John Tavares?
But you give credit as well, Joe, to Craig Berube, making the switch once again. It started on an offensive zone faceoff.
Carry on, and now the Jackets get it to the Leaf blue line where it's turned over again, and then a turnover by the Leafs on a shot whistles high by Marchenko. D to D, it goes into the slot. Provorov with a shot, knocked away by Wall. A race for the other post is won by Wall. It goes around back of the net to the side of the goal. They jam away at it. It's still free, and it's knocked back of the net. Back to the point it comes. Broken up almost by the Leafs there, but McMahon couldn't get it out. Back into the slot now, a chance for Provorov, and Joey Wall snaps that out of the air with his left hand. Walking the line is Provorov. Drops it back for Werenski. A shot blockered away by Wall. Centering pass, Wall down, and is going to cover up on it. We get some shoving in front of the Toronto goal crease. To the blue line, but not out. Brought back in by Olivier to the right wing side. And a good play made there on the back check. Slashed back into the corner further by Robertson. But the Blue Jackets get it out, and Jake McCabe fills in his man. That was a big-time hit by Jake McCabe. Michelli couldn't get it out for him. Centered. Michelli breaks it up.
Too many men on the ice.
The Blue Jackets, a drop pass into the slot. Marchenko to the far side, and a good blocker save made there by Wall. Back to the blue line it comes. Fantilli on the near half boards now, centering pass. Deflected in front of the goal. Scramble is on. Wall down, and he stretches out, somehow keeping that out of the net. Penalty is over at the point of drive coming, and that's blocked, and the Leafs are breaking out at center. Michelli in across the line looking for a drop pass. No, he takes it himself and shoots, and it's off the blocker of Greaves.
The big block by Scott Lawton that started all that off.
And now brought out by, now stolen back by the Leafs. Here's Tavares diligently after it. Tavares, little toe drag move, he's in! Oh, and he couldn't get the last to go just as he moved in on goal. Fed in around the boards then by Stetcher. Around back of the net, Nylander. Into the slot, off the bench, Domi! And he rifled a shot off the shoulder of Graves. Now the Leafs pressing. Centering past Nylander! corner and into the chest of Graves and held. He plays but not out. Leafs keeping it in at the blue line into the slot. Nylander on the wing, a shot, and that was stopped by Graves. Kept in at the point for Werenski. Onto the right wing side, a deflection in front of the net went wide of the goal. Nylander looks for Riley. Nylander closes. Pass in front. Oh, and Tavares. Nylander back at center ice. Lost the puck, though, to Werenski. Werenski dropping it back. Closing. Shot stop. Rebound. Down his wall. And the puck comes free. Provorov with the puck still at the top of the circles. Drops it back to Kent Johnson. Johnson shooting right on. Stopped by Wall. Leafs with the rebound, but Cowan lost it. Now he's regained it, and he's got a 2-on-1 break. Cowan working in over the line on the left wing, going right to the net, and a stop made by Graves. And Nylander takes the pass on left wing. Slowly across the line, cuts to the middle of the ice, in for Tavares, deflected just wide. Comes out of the corner with it to Domi. Domi with a pass in for OEL or for McCabe, but it was intercepted, and now a chance for Fantilli. In on goal, scores! Adam Fantilli gets his second goal of the game, much to the delight of those from Nobleton in attendance. And the Blue Jackets win it in overtime with 38.8 seconds left.
Well, you gamble sometimes in overtime. Jake McCabe, the one defenseman on the ice, got caught, and that left Domi and Robertson to defend, and Fantilli got a step on Max Domi. Coming down the right wing side, cutting to the net, across the top of the crease.